Absolutely,
Yeah,
the first bans coming out here from Gambit, Pantheon, and Jarvan. Again, that jungle focus and the Aurelia as expected from CLG.
Yeah, they're just straight up going. They're probably going to ban maybe
They're
the
forcing
Nunu.
a lead ban here, no? Because they want Lee Sin first pick on Gambit, I imagine.
I think that they're going to let them have the Lee and...
They're going to give ThinkCard Lee?
No, I mean, I think that...
Oh, yeah,
well, I think they're going to first pick the Lee.
Yeah, they'll first. So CLG's not going to care about Lee Sin. We will see the epic Nunu counter again, and then...
The epic Nunu counter, yeah. Oh, the Threshman. I actually really like that ban because this means they can actually first pick Janna if they don't ban it here.
But then they give Lee Sin away.
But does Diamond think that he can beat ThinkCard's Lee Sin?
Sejuani, baby.
And you have a Baron. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the Narban coming in as well.
This means like Gambit has to first pick Janna, unless Edward has this secret counter in Nami, but... This is a joke because Edward thinks Nami is really bad against Janna.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be pulling that. Actually, I wonder what his answer to Janna would be. I think they have to first pick it.
On the other side, we do see the focus on top lane. Aurelia, Nar, and Azir. Cabochard play the top lane, could of course go in the mid lane as well. And then the first pick, Lee Sin, immediate lock in there from Gambit.
All right, so they should pick up the Janna and maybe... What top laners are up right now? There's... Don't really have to pick the top lane here. There's still...
Given current metagame, Janna Corki is something you'd expect here. If you're more Korean, I think you go Janna Lissandra here.
We haven't seen DoubleLift on Corki at this tournament, I believe. So we don't know if he would lug that on in this one.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to pick Corki, actually. The Shox is right. Yeah, he hasn't picked it at all this whole series. I actually don't think he likes playing Corki at all. So smart, Shox. Wow.
Well, the real meta players here would go for it. Now, I think Janna Lissandra would be a good draft here by CLG, but I don't think they will. Definitely need the Janna here, but I think they're debating their second pick right now, and they're figuring out what they want.
They don't want to show it. Okay, Janna Jax is actually really good because it takes away from Cabochard. He looked really strong on it. I'm actually wondering if they have any answers to that. Well, Sandra's a decent pick into Jax, though, but they could always 2v1 and lane swap it out.
They won't probably pick the support now and leave that for last, but I am still very interested to see what Edward will go for here and what will be the next one. Will it be mid, top lane, or AD carry? Maybe the Corki again for Pinot, just keeping that safe.
They can kick the Jax out of the fights already. Yeah, the Graves coming in, so this denies the Janna Graves from CLG. Then again, did the DoubleLift play Graves already? I don't think he...
I know he does play Graves, but I'm curious what he's going to pick into it because the Graves gave him a really hard time the last time.
A grave time, indeed.
I don't think it's going to be Lucian this time either.
Yeah. But what's left then? If Corki's out, Lucian's out, does he just go Caitlyn? Caitlyn Graves is not a fun matchup to play. But Janna and Kate then again is strong. Graves is relatively short range.
Vayne.
Vayne?
Some people actually consider that a really big skill matchup if you pick Vayne into Graves. But the problem with that is you have two hyper-scaling champions that need to split.
If he goes Vayne into this and he eats one QE from Syndra or just any CC, I wouldn't mind seeing Caitlyn
Scar,
here.
by the way.
I wouldn't mind seeing Caitlyn here because if you can push in the Graves and force him to use buckshot all the time on... the Nunu coming out pretty much telegraphs the incoming Caitlyn.
There you go. Well, I mean, he's looked pretty nice on Caitlyn, especially in team fights, and they've been pulling out lanes and doing really good rotations with it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Fix that sentence, though. And then on the other side, two last picks having to come in for Gambit. The mid laners locked in, so we're looking for a top end of support here. The Syndra, as said for Nick, he has been playing more of those people that could really assassinate one in one hit, so we'll see how it plays out on that. Darius.
Downright Darius.
I'm looking at Link right now. What's he going to play in the mid lane? He needs some AP.
Syndra.
I like the Renekton. It allows you to lane the lanes normally, and you can keep the Jax down in the straight up matchup.
Okay, Sona's actually a really good lane bully against Janna, but I feel like you get outscaled if you get behind it all. And then, because they do want to lane 2v2 in the matchup. So Sona Graves is like an old school, all in you at level 6, blow you up.
Yeah, the problem with it is that it doesn't all in well any level before that because there's no CC there. It makes it hard for Graves to get in good positions with... The reason Janna Graves works so well is because Graves can dash in with the shield, do an auto Q combo, and then the NATO follows up and it allows you to either win that trade even harder or disengage. Sona Janna is basically poke sustain, slightly in Sona's favor over the long term. But yeah.
They need a utility mid. I think it's going to be probably an Orianna. Syndra can bully Orianna pretty hard in lane, but if you actually get out of lane and farm up a little bit, it'd be really great against their team comp because they're all low-range champions. Renekton, Graves is low-range. Syndra is pretty much their only long-range champion that can get catch on people.
If they pick the Orianna, CLG definitely has a scaling comp on their hands to go into that late game with the Caitlyn buffed up. What will it be here for Lake? Still thinking about it.
I think Sin's right. I think Orianna's coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, really round out their team.
If you go LeBlanc, you have such a risk of getting, like, you just get screwed in fights.
That's too hard of a skill matchup, too.
Yeah,
I like the Ori pick here. But the problem with this is their team comp has to scale into late. Like, they can't do anything early.
If this game goes even beyond 30 minutes, CLG wins. If it doesn't, which it shouldn't, Gambit should win this game. I mean, Renekton should dump their Jax. Lee Sin has way more, even like Nunu isn't known for like having pressure in enemy jungle, but if he meets Lee Sin,
can't do anything to him really.
He can't do anything.
But Lee Sin can't really kill Nunu either. It's, as long as he vision controls the Nunu, as long as Nunu vision controls for his team and make sure that not too many plays happen in the early game, which I don't think he's going to be able to do against Diamondprox because he is really gank heavy.
They have a bot lane with sustain that can handle their own really well. They're not going to get ganked by Nunu. And Diamondprox, he can work with CC on lane from both mid laners and top, and that's really important for Lee Sin because he doesn't bring much direct CC to the table, but he can follow up on those stuns from Syndra, from Renekton.
Yep, we will see how that plays out. Game 4 here. Will Gambit take it home or is it another one for CLG? We will find out in 90 seconds.
Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne Grand Final. We're sat at 2-1 in favor of Gambit Gaming over CLG. Game 3 has led us to believe that anything can really happen in this one. But Game 4, I think everyone's going to buckle down and it'll be a bit more serious.
Well, let's hope so at least, because last game was a complete mess. This time around, Analyst Desk, they talked about it, CLG. Insane late game comp they're running here, but they have to get to the late game. If Gambit can close it out beforehand, they should be able to take the game.
Yeah, and as we mentioned just off air while that was all happening, it's like, we've not seen this game, we've not seen a 30-minute game. As like Crepa was saying, if this goes beyond 30, 40 minutes, CLG very much in their hands.
I mean,
and
they
we've
can
not
do
seen
everything.
anything get close to that yet, because they've all been fairly long games, fairly chaotic games at that. And we've also seen a lot of deep wards. Remember CLG, they went for the early ping ward, haven't got one this time. We'll see though, it looks like they are going to be rushing to the bottom, and actually, Pinoy and Eddie are down there at the moment.
Yeah, remember last game at level 1, I think like 5 or 6 flashes were used. There was even a first blood on Diamond. Definitely not looking to do the same. Gambit lining up just at every single entrance in the river to spot if CLG is running in their jungle. Oh, let's see if they walk in there. Spotted by a ward, it would be a trap. Wisely enough, to back away.
They're not.
Actually, never mind. Oh, this is bad for Edward. Flash gone, he might even die here.
Yeah, he's going to finally realize he's in trouble. The exhaust goes down. He realizes he may well be dead. He's just going to try and delay it. Will he be able to get away?
He wants to get to the tower.
Yeah, he's not going to have a 10
No,
second.
don't recall.
Yeah, it's not going to work out. Oh, well. You know what? He could try and walk away. Oh, not going to work out for him. Boom, dead. That was a...
Oh, Aphromoo got it. Not even an assist for...
It did like a tiny flash there. He was meant to try. I think he was trying to go over the bush. I'm not sure. Well, he definitely screwed it up either way. That didn't work out well.
So flash gone for Eddie now on this Sona here, who is fairly mobile already. Let's see if we're going to get standard lane. CLG swapping up to top lane. This is again what the Analyst Desk was talking about. This Graves Sona lane is super strong. You can out-sustain the Janna as well. So CLG swapping up, and you also want to dodge the Renekton early on with your Jax.
So, first blood for CLG. Again, yeah, goes to Aphro. And that last game as well was very, very chaotic in the opening moments of it. This one, a little bit more standard. Eddie caught out, knowing he couldn't get away, you know, just die in the end. I think he probably shouldn't have even bothered flashing there, just trying to walk south and hope for the best on that one. We do, however, have Cabochard here up in ThinkCard's jungle, which could be a problem because Diamondprox is now coming over as well as Edward.
Yeah, this is just a smart move by Gambit. They expected ZionSpartan to do their wolves at level 1, so Cabochard walked in, stopped him from doing it. And because you have this lane swap, then you have to invade on the enemy blue buff to make sure you get 2 buffs for your own jungler. And managed to stop it and delay ThinkCard just a little bit.
Well, that's the second buff for Diamond. I wonder if they're going to
No.
maybe stick around. Yeah, he's going to just go straight back on there.
Yeah, they can't go over to their own blue buff here because there's 4 members from CLG on that top side of the map. So just gonna have a standard jungle slide in this case in the lane swap. Let's see if anyone is freezing the lane.
Well, you do see, of course, Cabochard getting the help of Diamond, whereas Zion's obviously doing the work himself over on the Krugs. And of course, both the lanes, they are being held very much. Even the mid lane is actually being held at the moment. Link and Nick, they're staring at each other. Diamond comes around, not going to land anything. Didn't blow any summoners. I think the flash once from Link was the only one that went down. So Gambit successfully burning down that flash of the mid lane.
And CLG at the moment is fast pushing this lane, but because Nunu is sitting at the Grump and Gambit should know he's there, you cannot teleport up here. It's way too risky. So all this farm gonna be lost for Cabochard. He's actually teleporting. He might die from this one.
Oh, that's not a good TP.
You're level 1.
No, well, it's just hit level 2, but that's not really going to help much. Tries to slice and dice away, but that course is going to slow him down. In comes Diamond on the tower. ThinkCard taking the tower hits, has to flash away. Taken very, very low from that one. Nick's going to come around. Has to land the perfect stun here from a very long range. Is it going to be enough? Aphromoo, good Howling Gale. Should be enough to save the day. He's sidestepping, second guessing himself. Stun will catch him on the wall. Good flash from Aphromoo. Very well played by the support from CLG.
Yeah, so in the end here, Gambit Gaming actually forced a lot of summoners from CLG. Cabochard teleporting in. Diamond was running from the mid lane to help him out. Still very, very risky. It dropped very low as well.
Crazy little start again to this one. We also saw a bit more standard down the bottom. Pinoy and Edward just putting pressure on that tower. Where's ZionSpartan? And now we have Diamond coming back around. There's a stun landing. Have they got the damage to finish off Link? He's actually turning this one around. Diamond will safeguard off to the minion. Can they finish off Link? I don't think they can. And now ThinkCard will move in as well. And they stop the death onto Link. Very, very close though.
Look at Edward here, sneaking in.
Well,
the deadly Sona gang incoming. Oh, stun lands.
the stun comes in. He could go for him, but again, pulls that shield. Is it enough? He's got to ignite, remember. Pops it down. There it is, picked up. They can get themselves a double. ThinkCard caught out the stun from Cabochard, but it's not enough. ThinkCard will get away. They are throwing everything once again into this game. It's all square, one apiece.
One apiece here. Edward just moving in. Actually managed to get a fairly deep ward as well. And the first spot in the, I'm lying, obviously he died earlier on at level 1 for the actual first spot, but putting a lot of effort here and trying to shut down Link on this Orianna.
We know what you meant.
Of course you did.
We just left you hanging for that part because we can. So, DoubleLift in the top lane. He has obviously had a fair free time. He's going to be up against Cabochard now, who's moving up towards the top. Actually, both AD carries and top laners equal on farm right now. And obviously there was that first kill on Aphromoo, who's just making his way up here in towards the top lane to cover off his AD carry. Tribush ward went down and will get swept straight out by Aphromoo, so no coverage for Cabochard. And with ThinkCard nearby, we'll see whether they go for another tower dive.
I mean, they might just be going for another push here because you have the Nunu walk in with the Blood Boil and just try and take down this tower and then swap the lanes back. Jax has managed to get a few levels in this bottom lane. In the end, though, Gambit should be able to just trade towers if they see the Nunu in top lane and just push it down.
Well, let's see. We do now have the level 3 Renekton, a little bit more dangerous than before.
Yeah, Diamond is nearby as well.
He's already running there.
He's going to bait it.
Yeah, he's left the wolves, so he's running straight up.
Will ThinkCard move through from this one? No ward in that brush. Will now come through into the Tribus. Going to show himself as well. They've seen Diamond there, surely. Yeah, they've seen him as The auto attack from DoubleLift doesn't actually pull tower aggro there. He stood just on the fringe of that one. I think this turret is going to go down. Now CLG moving in. They're going to look for kills here onto Cabochard. Diamond will dodge around underneath the tower. Ace in the hole comes through. One more auto attack will do it. DoubleLift gets that, and they get the tower. Really nicely done from CLG.
Yeah, a few more levels on them this time around. They can actually get a kill on the dive. Gambit trying to fight on their own tower, but there are only 2 members here and barely any damage actually to return onto CLG, who were controlling it very nicely, dancing around the tower aggro, and also had the minions constantly hitting the tower.
Well, Pino is just going to let the minions to take down the turret, make sure everything's taken away. So, a tower apiece right now, but CLG stuck around for a while and actually have shoved that wave in, so Cabochard's just going to munch up all of those minions. That's going to give him a bit of an advantage over ZionSpartan when they come face to face.
Yeah, CLG didn't actually push it out as you just talked about here. Wave coming in, he can freeze it down here now. Or at least slowly build it up. Takes quite a while before it's coming over to ZionSpartan. So he has now to get in a very risky situation. If Diamond runs after its red buff to this top side and ZionSpartan shows himself, he will be forced to flash.
Mid lane, let's take stock of that one because saw a bit of action down there earlier. A Fiendish Codex coming out first for Nick. Charlie's start for Link over the other side. So we'll see where they go item-wise. Aphromoo actually starting to move into that mid lane area as well. There was a pink put down by Nick, which will spot Aphromoo out, so they know that he's in their jungle.
Well, Aphromoo is going to get focused. Nick trying to delay the stun. There it is. Everything piled on towards him. He will go down. Shockwave, though, was pulled as well. So that was wasted by Link. Didn't quite catch on towards him. ZionSpartan with the blue steal on Gambit. But Diamondprox is going to get himself some vision. They're going to try and collapse. Look at DoubleLift. He's way down in the lane. They could come around the back of him. But instead, more interested in going for the blue. Just waiting to see if the call comes out. Diamond's going to take the blue.
It's pretty smart though by CLG on this top side here by sending ThinkCard with ZionSpartan. They make sure they can push out the wave here. There are 2 members to do it and reset the whole thing. So Zion won't have to sit around and just wait and wait and wait to actually get some farm in DoubleLift. Doing the ground while Diamond is standing right next to him with the blue buff.
He had no idea that either are there actually at the moment. And now they're going to finally come around. Now they've realized they're there. Oh, that's not going to land the Sonic Wave. He should 90 caliber net away. And Diamond actually taken pretty low. Will get to save the ace, and the hole may well have been enough to take him down. Cabochard on ZionSpartan. Where did this damage just suddenly come from? Caught ZionSpartan now. Will jump away. Tries to bait him into ThinkCard. Is it enough? Absolute zero. ZionSpartan's going to jump in the moment it goes off. Beautifully done by CLG.
Nick is coming though. I'm not sure why Cabochard didn't flash away after he realized that Nunu was standing there with his ulti. Nick looking for some kills. See if he can get any.
They're just going to wait it out here. They'll see which way he's coming from. Stun going through there.
We do see him on the ward here.
Yeah, recalling, but not sure what they can do. Flash in from Nick, and ZionSpartan said he was just hovering over his flash key there, ready for that one.
Ready and waiting, yeah. Well, I mean, they saw the stun ball come through, so he was kind of expecting it the second ThinkCard went back. So, bottom lane has actually been frozen for a while, actually. They're not pushing it up because, remember, the tower went down in the bottom. So Pino had been purposely been holding this one away from DoubleLift, who obviously wisely went towards that Grom, but it has given him a slight advantage in CS. Of course, the moment this wave dumps up towards the inner turret, it should even itself out. Cabochard also had a fair bit of free time, despite that death just going away from him.
A bit of a sloppy one, though. I mean, you had your flash up, and you can see instantly you're standing in the ulti, but anyway, DoubleLift at the moment went for the Abyss Blade. I actually like it after the BF Sword. Kind of speeds up his process towards both Infintage and the Static Shift, which of course is the first power spike for the Caitlyn pick. Now you didn't get to be a lane bully because of the lane swap. Normally you would say, get a BF Sword and you control your lane. Didn't happen this time around Gambit. Starting up this dragon.
And I don't think CLG are going to get near this one. No, they're not. Down to 2k HP and no one moving into there.
They saw ThinkCard on the ward all the way up in the top lane here. He's been staying around ZionSpartan all the time because they know as long as ZionSpartan has a good game, he can start split pushing. Gambit won't have anyone who can stop him. And suddenly these 4 members with the Nunu, with the Caitlyn and Janna can just start sieging down towers if Jax is winning on his own. So a lot of
all 5
on them, pushing
all 5
early on.
people. Remember, they have the crescendo. Aphromoo kicked in. Boom, quick combo down. And that will be the middle turret of the game for Gambit as they start to take control. And if you think back to the last game, well, CLG's big advantage was the fact that they were taking dragons down. They were starting to take advantage despite the fact it was a chaotic game. But Gambit picking up that first dragon and the mid turret, it's got to be a bit of a worry for them.
Yeah, that's just smart play by Gambit. When you're playing against the Jax, it's all about abusing the fact he needs to scale up to late game. So you have like, until he gets a Trinity Force, maybe one tank item as well so you can start diving one-on-one. You have this entire window in the mid game to just push down towers, take dragons, because you know he's going to sit up there and just try and farm as much as possible. Gambit Gaming did it beautifully, got the tower.
Cabochard going aggressive on ZionSpartan, doing a big chunk of damage once again. This time around, he hasn't got ThinkCard sitting in the bush ready to help him. So we'll force him away. Happy to play the slow game, though. We talked about it at the start. This is what CLG needs to do. It is going to be a tough start for them. And it will be a ward trade. ThinkCard being delayed. DoubleLift putting pressure along with Aphromoo onto Pinoy and this tower. It is going to be a 3-on-2, which is why Diamond's making his way down here. But they should be safe for now.
No crescendo though, Fred, but that is definitely worth noting in this scenario. Didn't actually draw any tower aggro there, which is always good. And DoubleLift just chipping away on Edward here, and the Piltover even will manage to land, which could be bad news. Diamondprox has come around. That ward going to be inactive and cleared out. And I think Diamond is going to finish his camp before they can come in.
Nick moving down here. Gambit should know Link is here because he hasn't showed himself in the mid lane for a long time. Now to see him as well. 4 members from Gambit. CLG trying to take the tower.
Well, Nick's ready and waiting to get in there. The question is, will DoubleLift chip away at the tower first? They will hold it for now. Of course, they have that pink ward. That's going to get cleared out. Oh, Diamond doesn't fancy sticking around too long for that one. They've swept out another, and it seems that this little game going back and forward is just simply a build-up for also what is happening in the top lane, because Cabochard versus ZionSpartan is continuing as this goes on. But remember, both have teleport and both can interrupt each other on that teleport. With this turret, I think DoubleLift, look, he's trying to get onto it, doesn't matter. Shockwave only pulls in Nick. That was the kill onto ThinkCard. They hold the turret. Only minutely, DoubleLift just needs to get a single breath of fresh air on it.
ThinkCard has one job. Sit next to AD carry, press Blood Boil on him, and if anything happens, you just press your ulti, and you are now basically playing Nunu. Instead, he runs forward, gets stunned up here by Nick, ends up dying, and suddenly the whole push stops because now CLG, only 3 members left. What we just saw is what we're going to see the entire game long. 1-4, Renekton sitting in top lane against Jax for now until he gets outscaled, and then the 4 members from CLG trying to push down against the 4 members from Gambit. And again, the longer we get into the game, the stronger CLG just becomes.
Gambit actually moving now after pushing back that bottom lane in to steal the blue buff. It's going to be going over to Nick if they can so pull that one off. Well, of course, speaking of pull, he just picks it up and will slam it down to steal that one away. Blue buff's actually up on their side of the map, and there's no man advantage anymore on that top side, which might mean that Gambit could get around for that blue, although I believe they have no timing on that at all.
Letting ZionSpartan farm at the moment. He's still behind because he can't do anything at Cabochard at this point. But unless Diamond or Nick comes up to this top lane, they won't be able to dive him and actually kill him. And instead, he's just going to be trading farm back and forth here. ZionSpartan, he's not done.
Trading well here. He's got ThinkCard close by as well. There's going to be the ulti popped. Cabochard will just bully Zion away, who pops his own ulti.
Now Nick is here.
That's what they wanted. Not going to land the stun instead. It's going to be ThinkCard he goes for, and just pops all of those spheres. And ThinkCard once again tastes the wrath of Nick.
I mean, you have this side stone here. You should be able to have enough wards down to actually spot Nick moving up to this top lane so you don't get caught out again. Second time, ThinkCard just ends up dying and feeding kills over to Nick, who's already 4-0.
Well, I can tell you his Sightstone has 0 out of 3 wards placed right now. So that kind of defeats the whole point of going Sightstone. And now Diamondprox is all up in their jungle, stealing away the red buff.
All up in their grills. CLG got themselves their second turret of the game down the bottom lane. They managed to push that one down. Eventually they needed just a couple of hits on it. So Pinoy going to go back, complete that Infinity Edge, I'm guessing. And we'll see where that one continues. Gotta be honest, when we were talking about pick and bans, obviously in the last 2 matches, we've been like, get him Graves, Pinoy. It's a champion that works for him, that's for sure. Corki wasn't that successful, and while he was Valkyrie in there, he didn't have the burst craziness that you have, the collateral damage, bookshot, quick blow someone up with Pinoy. Paired with now, obviously, Sona, as they were mentioning on the desk. Once you hit that 6, that spike between the two, it's a great pairing.
It is, but Sona moving into the late game it becomes harder and harder to play here because first of all, you're super immobile and your only somewhat useful like disengage tool is going to be a crescendo. So if you do miss it by any chance, or you cannot get onto someone in the backline from CLG, you won't really be able to do too much on the pick, and that's where Janna, of course, presses her ulti and instantly disengages the entire fight. So it's going to be a little bit harder for Edward in the late game, at least on this Sona, but for now, it can be super deadly, especially with the Graves pick. Infinity Edge completed.
I would say it's probably the champion he's most experienced on, though. Like, literally, Gambit
and he always hated to play it.
He did, but the team made him play it, and I guess they made him do it again because it's a champion that works. They love the big AE stuns. Second Dragon of the game picked up without any contest from CLG, and Gambit once again begin the stacks.
The only game that actually went CLG's way in terms of dragons is the game that they won. That third game. I'll see if that has any indication on how this one is all going to go down. Look at this, ZionSpartan has spotted that blue buff, but Nick was already on his way over. Will he stay around and try and bully this one? Not sure he will, just for the fact that Nick has took it all the way around the corner, out of view. And that will be going over. Two Gambit's mid laner who's got that Morellonomicon, Needless Large Rod, Sorcerer Shoes now done. Other side, Death Cap first for Link after he started with his Chalice.
Wow, he's just been sitting and farming and farming and farming. Normally you get your Athenes first, but he's probably been able to go back, afford the Large Rod, and then next time he went back, you just buy it straight up the Death Cap here. So very early, he's getting quite a lot of AP, but we talk about these dragons. I don't actually blame CLG for giving up the dragons in this game here because they just want to sit back and scale up. They don't want to risk any teamfights here in the mid game, and therefore they have to give them up. So credit to Gambit for taking them early on. They have 2 stacks already, but also just wise enough by CLG, not risking any teamfight here, unless you can outsmart Gambit and then take it.
Oh, flash crescendo, double it. There's the combo. Not quite enough this time around. Collateral damage, buckshot from Pinoy was saved by the shield and heals from Aphromoo, of course, with that monsoon going off. But while that was all happening, this top tower wave has built up nicely, and they come around 3 men grouped. We do have Link coming close, but Nick's already there to see them off with any stun if ZionSpartan were to get a little handsy.
Some good deep wards here by Gambit so they can see if Link is moving through the jungle from mid lane, and otherwise you build up this big wave from Cabochard and you just send up Nick and Diamond to take the tower. Just a smart power play.
So we were talking about obviously how it was going to be the 4-1, but Gambit have chosen to go the 2-3.
Well, the thing is here, there's quite a lot of wave clear on the side of CLG, so if you group for yourself as Gambit and you try and push down a tower, CLG can hold it for quite a while. ThinkCard coming in here. Oh, Edward, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's dead, actually. Oh, yeah. DoubleLift coming around there. He just recalled. ThinkCard had moved in as well, and overall, a bit of, I think, lack of concentration there. Maybe a bit of overconfidence from Gambit, and actually, Diamond going through onto the blue buff there. There are 3 men still there for CLG. Can't really afford to. He can make that 4 now that Link has come around. And Ace, I think he just smited it down there, ThinkCard. Yeah, he did. He smited that blue buff away. So no blue buff for Link.
Yeah, he could do with that, honestly. Still without that Chalice or Morellonomicon. Without the, Athenes or Morellonomicon. We'll clear out the mid wave though, keeping up in farm, very even between the 2 mid laners actually. AD carry-wise, DoubleLift has surprisingly continued to farm away and get himself built up a lead. Cabochard also building up a lead over ZionSpartan. Not quite the hefty, crazy lead we saw over Gansu just yesterday, but it is a lead nonetheless. And without a tower in there, it's actually leaving ZionSpartan a little bit scared. He's having to get a good ward coverage down, but you can see Gambit, they littered the top half of the jungle of CLG when they pushed on towards that tower. So it's just a waiting game for Jax right now.
It is, and if Gambit wants to keep pushing every single lane, they simply have to invest into more wards, because you need to ward up the bottom side of the jungle then and the top side of CLG's jungle, so you don't suddenly have a Nunu running in between you and just killing you like we saw Edward die here before. Otherwise, again, second option, go 4 members. You see Pinoy saying this bottom lane here, but other option is go 4 members in the mid lane, fully ward up the top side of the jungle, have Cabochard push it in, try and land a stun from Nick. Otherwise, wait for Cabochard to push the top lane, move through the jungle, and go straight for this top tower once it's been built up.
Oop, trap caught, yeah.
Oh, it was close. The Q was really close to landing there, but actually I think Nunu inside the jungle, Diamond has just given this one away. Pinoy was already backed away from it. They saw the TP coming down, and that was a lack of communication, I can only really presume, from how it went down.
Well, yeah.
That was also a lack of communication.
Oh, it's basically just been this game or this series in a nutshell. I mean,
yeah, that was a little odd to say the least. I don't think they realized how many people were there, but instead, Gambit are grouping once again, seeing if they can push something out. Nick down there, but they've left themselves exposed to a ZionSpartan on Jax. Link also there as well. Dragon's not up for a full minute, but they're going to go engage here. Shockwave pull them in, that's going to be enough. Cabochard the only man that get caught it though. Nick's going to get jumped on, ace in the hole will be enough. Crescendo comes out, but it simply saves him. Aphromoo did go down, there's going to be the absolute zero. Diamond back in on this one. Doesn't have kick, remember, just used it a moment ago. Keep on diving on towards Eddie. ThinkCard taking some tower damage as well as ZionSpartan. Diamond chases a little bit too deep there. DoubleLift were quite happy to try and pick up yet another kill. This time around, it's just a 1-for-1 between the teams, but CLG starting to slowly grow in confidence.
Yeah, again, they just catch out Gambit, Nick, and Cabochard running through the jungle here. 4 members collapse from CLG onto them. And they trade 1-for-1. CLG back now, trying to push his mid tower. You do have the Caitlyn already static shift completed for DoubleLift, so he can really start pushing down. Cabochard going in.
Oh, he manages to pull a lot of damage. ZionSpartan so close to getting dropped there. Pinoy fancies it, tried to get the static shift proc onto him. Wasn't quite enough. Diamond couldn't land the Sonic Wave, and they will run to safety.
10 seconds on Dragon.
Seconds, actually, to get precise on the Dragon. If you'll let me finish my sentence.
It's 5
Never.
now.
Yeah, no, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Raw.
Quite raw. There we go.
There he is. So, take the crab, get the dragon.
Pretty good advice.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do as well. Yeah, no one from CLG there after going low in that last fight. Had to completely back off. That's the 3rd dragon buff here for Gambit, and we've seen them already in game number 2 collect all 5 of the dragon buffs, which then led to that base race victory. We'll see if anything like that. You just can't, you know, that usually happens once a tournament if you're lucky. I think we've had 2 anomaly games already in the 3 that we've seen. So
we had one in San Jose as well, didn't we?
And we did.
I seem to recall, yeah.
All the base races.
And the ARAM. That was pretty crazy.
Well, that last game was pretty much an ARAM as well, so.
Just ARAM across the map. It's like, we've expanded it, guys. Go for it. Let's see how it works out. So, Cabochard actually going to slice and dice. Chase onto Link here. Don't go, he will. That's going to be a flash crescendo. And that's a kill. Well, I mean, when you're quite happy to burn a flash crescendo onto someone, if you don't get the kill, you've done something very wrong.
Yeah, they knew there was no flash out for Link, and they can actually push up towards this tower now. ZionSpartan sitting in base and DoubleLift. He's running way behind. So is Pinoy. They're on his own jungle at the moment.
What are they going to do here? Gambit stacking up. They've spotted DoubleLift there, but I think he's already too far gone. Already underneath his turret there in that bottom lane. But they're going to start moving into position to try and siege a little bit. Not exactly that Syndra and Sona are going to do the big damage here, but Pinoy now joining in. ZionSpartan will dive in the middle of them. Cabochard will be tanking up the turret here with his Dominus running. What are they going to do? They've stunned up DoubleLift. There comes the burst, but it's not enough. Aphromoo again will knock them away.
Oh,
but Diamond has gone in the middle. The kick will only cost him his life.
Again, a little bit too aggressive by Diamond here, going in for the kill. He had the kick ready.
They're also
just couldn't get to him.
So low again, though. But again, it's Aphromoo to the rescue, keeping DoubleLift alive, and then, of course, they cover him off there. So far, DoubleLift has got away with very low hit points, and actually, it's probably frustrating Gambit. It's probably why we're seeing Diamond going in so often, but let's not forget, Nick is up to 5-1-1 now. He's starting to stack those kills up. Kadu, Pinoy, hasn't quite got that explosive edge which he's had before, and he's actually behind a little bit on DoubleLift.
Yeah, but just because Nick is so strong and landing the ball onto Link here, because he's so strong and there's no engage on the side of CLG unless ZionSpartan is there to jump in himself, which is not ideal. It actually means Gambit should just go 4 members now. Group together, push up a wave, have Cabochard one-on-one against ZionSpartan. He can still do well in that matchup. At least keep it even and just push it up and wait for Nick to land that one stun, blow up a target. There's no engage between Nunu, Orianna, Caitlyn, and Janna. So Gambit can just sit there, wait for the stun, take the kill, take the tower. They have been running around now for the last 5-6 minutes and just buying time for CLG. I mean, DoubleLift at the moment, getting close to his Bloodthirst as well, and This might be another kill for CLG.
Yeah, gang setup. Actually, Eddie could be walking into this blindly. He's actually coming up the river. He's taking the crab out. He's fighting the crab, and Cabochard's going to walk straight into it. There's the stun. Oh, no, not quite caught out. There's going to be catching on towards him, but he can just slice and dice, or just slice, as the case was, over the ledge. This has left exposed tower in the bottom lane. Pinoy with Diamond. They should have enough to take this tower down.
Unless we see a TP from ZionSpartan. He's in base at the moment. No, this tower is gone.
Yeah, that'll be that dragon buff helping you out as well.
Now they need to be back in, or they are dead. You can see Link's just hovering off the side. Now he's got Aphromoo with him. They're gone. That's clean.
They need to be careful there. Right? Yeah, they need to be really careful there.
So because CLG decides to actually try and make a play, it opens up the map suddenly for Gambit, who's just split up all over the place. Take a tower, get some damage on this mid turret as well. Well, that was a shield.
Well, the rest of Gambit do come across. CLG are fairly quick to react there, quick enough at least to keep the tower alive for now. And Gambit, well, they didn't even lose a death, and they took the tower. It's just going their way. It's still equaling kills. Gold advantage, of course, to Gambit. And let's not forget those 3 dragons that Gambit have picked up to 0 for CLG. But we mentioned at the start, ticking time bomb. We're closing on that 30-minute mark. Slowly but surely, CLG will start to come into the game now.
Yeah, we're hitting the point now where they can start looking for some fights. You want to have your Void Start, though, completed on the Orianna first. Link is actually only sitting on about 150 gold, so that won't be completed before the dragon. Caitlyn, though, you're sitting on 3 items. You want your last Whisper now, and you hit your massive power spike yourself. And then we can really see CLG start fighting. They might give up the next dragon just because they're missing Void Staff and Last Whisper, but I don't actually think so. They're already moving in just to set up all the wards.
Well, there's 1 minute now until that comes in. Crab will be taken out by DoubleLift. See that ThinkCard going to be helping to clear as well. Gambit quite happy, it seems, to not go in just yet on that one. There is a stun onto ThinkCard, and Pinoy's thrown everything at him. There's a flash away from Nick as well. Was scared, and probably rightly so. The 2 deaths that he has so far, ThinkCard, have both been to him, and there is the ulti coming out. Nick will burst down Aphromoo. Can they get any more, though? DoubleLift still there. Shockwave will land onto Nick, but Pinoy steps forward once again. That's where his ulti would have been really, really handy to help burst them down. And similar to Dragon 2 and Dragon 3, just before it, Gambit do a lot of damage and mean that CLG have to back away to heal.
Might even be able to take the tower here. Aphromoo is up in about 10 seconds. Also a wave in the bottom lane pushing in, which ZionSpartan has to deal with. Diamond starting to sneak behind here. It should be a tower now for Gambit, and they can move straight down towards the dragon.
Yeah, there's the inner. Now they move on down. Aphromoo spawned. Let's see whether CLG want to continue to chase on this. They have a few ultis available. No shockwave, though. But they do have that big ultimate coming out of Aphromoo. But remember, Crescendo is still available. And that's going to be the dragon picked up. Now let's see how the disengage works out. Will Eddie use that Crescendo to help them back away? ThinkCard instead just half-heartedly going for it. And actually Gambit are thinking, you know what? We could turn this. We could try and push for it, but
CLG can take the mid lane here.
Well, they're going to get 1 turret. Can they get 2? They're going to have to push very hard. They have got a Jax, remember. They're going to keep on going. That's 1 down, but the rest of Gambit should be in place to react.
Yeah, both side lanes pushing up towards CLG here, so don't want to take the chance and actually get flanked either by Gambit, who did stay around after this dragon, so trading it for the mid turret. Now CLG's turn to try and catch Gambit.
Oh.
Notice the one in the mid lane.
Ball just gave that one away completely. There's a stun coming over, though. Who are they going to go for? The Q will land from Diamond. He's going to go to Zion. Kicks him back. DoubleLift and Aphromoo going to be the focus here. They don't get DoubleLift down, though. He's still alive there at the back. That'll be a 1-for-1. But look at those blinking red health bars over with CLG. Diamond now the man that could make the plays. As Link is trying to hide around the corner in the red buff. And he's not very sneaky whatsoever.
Did he just stop to dance?
Double kill there. That's 3 men dead.
Good play as well from DoubleLift and ZionSpartan. They were running away towards that top. There was a gigantic wave. If they had gone down, absolutely Innids may have fallen. They still may, but Gambit, they're pushing in. Look at Pinoy back onto DoubleLift. He really wants this one. Oh, that's a kick landed from Diamond. Will he follow through on it? He will. Tries to get on towards him, but he's going to turn it back around. Not quite enough. Pinoy goes in, gets him down. ZionSpartan tries to react. The counter-strike doesn't catch on towards him. They still need to focus this tower down, but ZionSpartan may have just done enough to keep them away.
Gambit Gaming here again, whenever they actually do get the fight, they are still so strong they can just beat CLG down Void Staff still not completed. Last Whisper still not completed either for DoubleLift here. They need those items before they can start winning the fights.
They just basically, Pinoy went, you know what, I'm going to get a kill on DoubleLift. They blew everything, threw at him. They could have took the inhibitor down. Instead, they just got a single kill. No objective.
Don't question the Russian methods here. See hero, kill hero, not tower. That's how it is. Anyway, so the team fight itself, DoubleLift actually stays alive. The problem is, he has the ball from Link on himself, and Link actually pops the shockwave while DoubleLift is jumping away. And in the end, he's just staying around, not even sure what he's waiting for, and actually just end up giving up another kill. And then Gambit pushing in towards the tower.
I think he had more chance of escaping if he'd have just carried on walking there. But here's that dive once again onto DoubleLift. Again, Diamond going a little bit too deep there, but flashing out just at the right time. And then the stun coming on to stop Pinoy going down to ZionSpartan as well. Brilliant.
And trading flash for your jungler between the enemy AD carry at this stage of the game is definitely worth it here. They should just have taken the tower, potentially even inhibitor though.
Well, as it stands, CLG proving that they've got a bit of bite in this game, and they are the ones that are actually looking for the fight. They may catch onto Diamond, but no. He's going to get spotted. The ward was there, and they're actually clearing out. But look at Pinoy sneaking in that bottom lane. Diamond covering him off. He's going to get on towards the wave. I may actually get on towards that inhibitor. But remember, he's got no TP. He can't just get back in there if CLG basically try and force their hand and go Baron.
Well, for now, they are at least... DoubleLift's on the bounty of ZionSpartan. They're just going to trade it for inhibitor.
At the moment, sure on that one.
Gambit can move over and stop this one.
Yeah, they're pinging it. They've got a ward there, right there. You can see it straight on it. You can see Cabochard's going to teleport in a moment. But instead, Nick comes around the side. The stun lands onto ZionSpartan. He can just throw everything at him.
Whoa.
Shockwave just obliterates him, though. Can they turn this one back around? Absolute zero.
Minions.
Followed by the crescendo. Pinoy's still pushing. He's on the Nexus turrets right now, while the rest of Gambit keep them busy. This is a circus right now. Diamond is going to get caught out. DoubleLift gets focused on. Cabochard trying to lock him down. They do manage to get Diamond. Meanwhile, I don't think he got... Yes, he got a Nexus turret down. Would you believe it? Pinoy managing to back away, and the rest of Gambit now in evacuation mode. Can they get out alive? This could well be a Baron or something else for CLG if they can clean up here. Cabochard now. Pinoy on towards it. DoubleLift's the focus target. Aphromoo going to get caught in. He gets caught off. Oh, the collateral damage not quite enough to take down DoubleLift. He hangs on again. But Gambit, they're running a merry dance on CLG at the moment.
Yeah, that was a super risky Baron call. You had no ping in the bush, so you didn't even know if Gambit had any wards down. And obviously Pinoy is getting inhibitor in the bot lane. CLG though, not done with this Baron.
No, but
TP
we are going to see
in.
Cabochard coming down. There are going to be 5 men. Sorry, 4 plus... No, 5... No, 4 because Aphromoo is actually dead. And then we see the push around this 1300 HP. CLG get the Baron, but will they get away? Pinoy will get the kill before the shockwave can go off. And Cabochard continues to go through. He's got no friends at the back, though. And what are they going to do with this one? Yes, there's now Orianna down. The Baron with CLG.
Dragon 45.
Yeah, and that's, don't forget, Dragon number 5, if Gambit can take it.
And that is a lot stronger than the Baron buff.
Diamond was tucked away. He missed his Sonic Wave. He's like, I need to safeguard. No, come back, Cabochard, come back. He just stood there at the edge of the pit, hiding, trying to get in there. So, 15-11. Pretty close game, but Gambit have opened up opportunities right now, but CLG are the ones with the Baron.
Yes, but they're gonna have to defend against this Dragon. 15 seconds, ZionSpartan is in the top lane. He has no teleport, so he won't be joining the fight. Should be Gambit Dragon here. It's a bit weird because CLG were actually doing a decent job just delaying the game. They were sitting just defending and defending, and Gambit couldn't really break it open. And suddenly CLG decided, now we want to go start fighting, catch you out of position. And ever since Gambit has just been racking up kills, getting this Dragon as well now.
Bad ulti from Nick there. He didn't have any balls laid down. That's a good stun though. Crescendo will follow. DoubleLift was caught in it, but nobody else is going for it. ThinkCard's going to try and get in. Can't get the steal on the Baron, but it doesn't matter. The rest of CLG are trying to clean up here. Gambit are in trouble. Diamond's in there. Pinoy can try and get on towards him. Can they get the kill down? That's it. DoubleLift shut down. ZionSpartan though, he's got the damage. Diamondprox and Cabochard are running scared. Pinoy's already been picked off around the side, and Gambit surely could get cleaned up here. One more kill. It's Diamond that they want. He's running for his life. They should ignore him.
Go get that Dragon. They need to get the Dragon now here. Stop Gambit from getting it. For this fight, you just talked about how Nick blows his ulti here on Aphromoo, I believe it is. Doesn't even kill him. Fight start. Beautiful shockwave coming in from Link.
Just literally walked in and pressed R.
basically, yeah.
It's not how you play Syndra. You need to get some balls down before you start doing that. But that is going to be a dragon, and this could be the turning point for CLG.
Yeah, Last Whisper and Void Staff are now completed by CLG. They didn't have them for the last few fights. It's super important for them. They can actually, I mean, the shockwave from Link, we just saw it before. You can one-shot Nick if you want to.
They lost 4 people there, Gambit. You have to feel focusing on the dragon. Might have been a better call from them there. I mean, there was, I think, about a 40-second spawn timer. They might have lost an inhib tower for that, but having then a 5th dragon would mean you can run straight out of the base and start your own push.
Well, Simon's trying to sneak away the blue buff here. He's almost certainly going to smite it. Looks like he's not going to stick around too long. He's going to find himself, but ZionSpartan does manage to get out of the counter-strike. Will get slowed by that Zephyr. Flashes away from the Howling Gale. The rest of his team are coming to cover off, but Diamond blowing quite a lot just to try and get that blue buff stolen away.
Let's see what CLG wants to do. For now, they're just staying back here. Keep farming. QSS completed for DoubleLift here, so even if someone like Cabochard gets onto him and stuns him, instant, you have the cleanse now, you have again the ulti from Aphromoo to disengage. We see how much Gambit is investing onto killing DoubleLift every single fight. If they don't manage to do it, they can't win it.
Yeah, he managed to he got caught actually by the crescendo, just the tip of the crescendo at the end there by Eddie.
But there
was
no
no follow-up. Yeah, there was no follow-up, but 3 Randian's Omens built up now. Eddie got himself one on the support, making sure that ZionSpartan and DoubleLift can't do too much damage to them, but when you can't coordinate and kill those targets quick enough,
yeah,
it doesn't matter how much army you've got,
and
if he's left alone
there
to just
should have been a Frozen Heart on Eddie here instead of the Randuin's Omen, because they do stack together, and Eddie's also going to set it with his AD carry, probably around where ZionSpartan is, and deny him some attack speed. I'm really a big fan of 3 Randuins when you don't have a Frozen Heart.
Well, this game might go on for a little while longer, and a Frozen Heart might make an appearance either way. We'll figure that one out. CLG currently sat on the steps of their base, still worried here that Gambit have an edge over them, especially now that that Baron buff has timed out. Gambit using this opportunity now to get wards down wherever possible. Look at the damage there onto Cabochard. Going instantly, I don't want to say low at this point because it was maybe 20% of his health, but just showing you that they can bite through all that armor that he's got. Warmogs now in there as well, so he is still pretty damn tanky. Don't make a mistake of that, but is he tanky enough to hold that front line for Gambit Gaming? They want to push now this bottom wave. That'll mean that at least the top and bottom are going in their favor. Mid's gonna meet about halfway, and we've already seen Nick move to that area to make sure that that one gets going. And the next Baron comes up in less than 2 minutes time, where we've seen lots of action already during this best of 5. Not all of it very pretty.
But Gambit has been stacking so much armor at the moment. The member with the highest MR is Diamondprox, sitting on 83. Against a late game Orianna, that can really end up hurting Gambit Gaming in this fight if Link can get a good shockwave off.
Going in. QSS used Crescendo, was got out of there, but it's going to be
no
one.
shockwave
Link
then.
get caught out. He gets taken down. Inhib will fall. Yeah, no shockwave at all. Oh, it's the stun on DoubleLift. Flashes once again. Aphromoo to the day to save him. The big stun. Aphromoo.
Now just finished.
ZionSpartan so low. This could be Gambit taking the Intel Extreme Masters.
They're going to take down DoubleLift there as well. ZionSpartan now the only man left alive here for CLG. He's not going to be able to do anything against 4 Gambit players hammering away on the Nexus. They'll take that down, and Gambit Gaming are the champions of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne.
Wow, just like that, the game is over. Just as we thought CLG had got a foothold, they managed to completely punish them. The QSS was on DoubleLift, but when there's that many stuns coming your way, they are absolutely focusing you, and everybody forgot Link in the process, and he just got ran over in the Gambit steam train.
Yeah, I think Link got caught by one of the stuns from Nick, a max range one, and instantly engage in from Gambit here. Kill him, he couldn't even use the shockwave, so it doesn't even matter, you don't have any magic resistance. and then just clean up the fight. I mean, who cared about DoubleLift in the end here? They could just kill everyone else, and in the end, take him down as well.
And I didn't expect it to actually end that way. I thought we were waiting for the next Baron, maybe that 5th Dragon there for Gambit, but in the end, it was a case of piling. As soon as you land one thing, land the next one, and then the next one. Keep following on through. And what a fantastic win there for Gambit Gaming. With this new lineup, everyone was wondering how good of a form they're going to be. I don't think anyone was expecting them to come to the final, actually, never mind to win it all.
Yeah, absolutely blown away. And, you know, once again, we've said it so many times, this is Intel Extreme Masters. This is Gambit's territory. This is the tournament that they win year after year after year. And again, we're going to see them at the finals. They've never once missed it. Can they make the final once again and go that step further? Last year, the KT Bullets were the ones that stopped them. The year before that, they destroyed Korea. Can they do it again?
I think looking at the lineup at the moment, it is solid enough, but is it enough to take down a team like SK Telecom? We might see there if there's going to be any Korean teams. Overall, Pinoy for me is the guy we should talk about. Because he went 10-1 once he went back to the Graves. And every time he played Corki,
stick to Graves.
Didn't really work out for him.
I mean, there were a couple of moments in that one, that the fight at Dragon, where you were like, where's Pinoy? Oh, there he is, right in the middle of the CLG team. Positioning might be something that he needs to work on, because I think, you know, a more coordinated CLG, a more coordinated alliance, Fnatic, whatever that lineup turns out to be, you know, might punish you for those kind of things.
Oh, for sure. We have to say, these games here between CLG and Gambit, they were pretty messy. Yeah. It was a lot of fighting. I think there's a lot of teams looking at them saying, wow, there is absolutely zero tactic involved at the moment, which better teams will punish for sure. So we're going to have to see if both teams can really step it up, because they need to going into the season.
I remember teams like CLG, like a person like St. Vicious on the expert desk, saying, after the Intel Extreme Masters Kiev, oh, they're easy to counter, we can do that. They went to the...
It kind of took a year and a half
went to the World Championships, met Dignitas in the final, destroyed CLG on the way, and ran over Dignitas in the final. You know, they have ways and means of winning games. Be it messy or not, sometimes it just works.
Yeah, and I think that pure aggression can sometimes just catch you out. However organized you think you are, but usually, you know, in a best of 5 scenario, it's going to catch you out in one game.
Yeah, but I mean, these teams, or the teams they're going to face now, let's say in the LCS or at Katowice, they have time to scout this tactic. They won't be surprised. Again, we had DoubleLift talking about Pinoy. He didn't know he was so aggressive, and he would just kill him in the laning phase. Teams can now scout Gambit, see how they play, exploit the weakness, especially in terms of like the warding on the map. And that's something we're going to have to see if Gambit can actually adapt to and improve on throughout the season.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. Been a pleasure casting as per usual. We're going to head over, though, onto the stage where Shox is ready to present